The idea of imposter syndrome is something that I think we all struggle with, and I am no exception to that. I think I've lived with that my entire life. I just had a dream about it last night. Strange dream, but it's clear to me how much I have lived in a place of being afraid to be a storyteller. Even though I'm pretty comfortable being vulnerable with my stories, it's the next level of pitching them and presenting them to the world. I've been pretty outgoing as far as and comfortable writing the ideas out and developing those stories, and then even going out and trying to fundraise and shoot them on an independent level. But that next level of believing that they can touch people in the world, in their hearts, there's no doubt that I've had my own personal doubts and insecurities about that. I have a project out now with a pretty big executive who has a relationship at Netflix, and I keep doubting that she's gonna like the script. And I keep having this weird fear about it. And I don't know if that energy is constructive in any kind of way. And so I'm gonna talk in a spiritual sense, how does that serve the story to get the story out that I really believe in? If I don't really believe it deserves to be made. I believe in the story I wrote, but I don't believe deep down in some way that I deserve, this is the imposter part of me, that story deserves to be produced. And that energy is not helpful in any kind of way. At bare minimum, what it's doing is keeping me from working on the next project with such confidence, because I'll dwell on where is that project going, when the reality is I should be proud of the fact that I wrote it. A friend of mine told me this when we did a screening of my second feature at this theater in Chicago. He's like, at the very least, you have a movie on the big screen. And that was a hugely pivotal moment, which doesn't, even as I'm saying it, I'm like, that clearly isn't always resonating. It's such a positive way to look at it. I had a movie on the big screen. I was in the moment having this awesome experience. And if I apply that to my latest screenplay, I wrote it. I completed it. What an amazing accomplishment that is to have completed a feature screenplay and to now be submitting it to the world. I think it was Bryan Cranston who talks about this, is the audition is the job. Don't think about the job as getting your whole life changed because now you're the lead in this show or movie. The audition is the job. And if you go into that job with full heart and full dedication, then you're giving the best, and all the other aspects that are uncontrollable. You have no control over them. You can't do anything with that. It's the same with my script being out. Since you can't control that, the best I can present to the world is writing the best script I can, making it undeniable, and working at it and developing it, getting the notes, improving step by step by step. It's so critical for us to just trust in the process and get the work done, and then be okay with having completed it, and then putting that aside and moving on to the next thing. And not dwelling, because I don't know how any of that dwelling energy keeps you moving forward in your craft and your development of your craft, and or the relationship connections that you can make that will be in the right moment, the perfect pitch for the screenplay that you previously wrote. So it's I see a lot of writers finish a screenplay and they get mad at the industry because they didn't sell it. Instead of working on the next one so they get better, and the next one so they get even better, better, they get better. And every draft along the way and every project they're developing as a talent, as a writer, as a creator. And that's just a reminder I need to have inside myself, is to say, all right, this project is here, it's beautiful, it's great, it's as good as I can get it for now. I'm going to try to put it out there, but I'm not going to worry so much about selling it as much as I'm going to focus on finding a right relationship that is connected to the material. And if there isn't, then maybe, like Brokeback Mountain or the Schindler's List or the Queen's Gambit, it could be 10, 12, or 30 years, and then life will align and that project will find a home. I didn't waste the 10, 12, 30 years not working on the new project. And I think that's really critical to us as developing writers and staying out of the imposter syndrome place. Enjoy the journey, you know, it sounds cliche. I know to avoid cliches, but it really applies that the steps towards making this stuff and then being at peace with it is just as important, if not more so.